Hey guys, Capricorn King here, coming to you with the knowledge. Who am I to claim I have knowledge? I'm not claiming anything because that requires credibility, which is relative to the ego, and it corresponds to that. I don't mean that. I'm coming to you as a focal point of the expression of what everything is just doing. And again, to be the conduit for that, to transmit itself through itself, which is you, which the whole self is doing. This video is correspondent to the previous one. This is the part 2, because there's some things I've just watched that video back, and there is some things that it seemed to have elicited more of and proliferated more of that through certain things that I said that I could have extended. So that video was about basically you are the isness of it all, and that everything is just doing itself. You are a headless body, and it was all related to that. And some of the things that I used like an analogical references, let's say for example the guy in the gym, when he told me in an authoritative way to put my shoes on. And what I wanted to extend on that is that analogy, that little interaction with that particular scenario in the gym, that was an opportunity for expansion and growth for the whole collective consciousness. Not even collective, because that infers in itself that was still distinguishable parts in a cog. No, it is the reciprocated. It is itself. You know this. You feel this in your heart. You know this in your heart. So that was an opportunity for us to respond through the volition of the heart, not through the what the ego thinks it is, and the competence of what the ego is trying to be, other than what it is just doing. And then we will naturally, intrinsically respond to that moment according to the resonance of the heart. So in that situation, when I said in the last video, if you respond through the volition of the heart, and that's transcended, it's not just a transcendence within you, because there is no you, okay? It's everything. So when you respond with assertiveness, and you're asserting the way, which is precision. Assertion is precision. Precision is accurate. Okay? And I said when it's like firing an arrow in the heart, it re-engages the heart within that person, so to speak, just to go along with this. So in that person, when you respond through the volition of your heart, and it's precise through the assertiveness, then the person that you did it to will reflect on that, because you shot an arrow. Okay, that person is not just going to, you know what I mean? It's not just going to be something to be bypassed. There's going to be some resilience in that within him. Okay, it's not just going to be perceived with frivolity, that situation. This is just an example of a scenario, and it's to help the whole consciousness within itself through different angles of perception, part of the same wheel of angles looking in to itself from the nucleus, in and of the nucleus. So it's like different, each focalized point of the expression of the whole thing in the spiral formation, spiraling up, realizing more of itself as it's expressing itself through reiterances of more fractal expressions being what could I say, from more fractal expressions coming back round on itself. Through that, okay, the whole consciousness evolves. So just through you responding, the whole consciousness actually learns more about itself, because if you are the whole self and you imply the whole self or everyone else, the way you respond just to that one person, you think it's just a triviality and it's something insignificant, the way you respond to somebody. No, it's not. That ricochets, reverberates out, okay, and it becomes the pervasiveness of that becomes everyone else. So it's all the same heart. So if you invoked something through a response of what you did through that person's heart, which you might have snapped him out of a state, that will help the whole of humanity. You don't realise how potent you are, how potent you actually are. You are a condensed version of the whole cosmos, realising itself through you. Okay? And that's them too. So if that's them too, the way you respond to that is responding to itself, a mirrored version of itself. It doesn't have to be complicated, it's just the dualism of it makes it seem, and the words we speak makes it seem very convoluted and drawn out and complicated. It's not. It really isn't. That's why I like to use analogies and metaphorical things, because they're symbolic, and we all seem to interpret things and understand through symbolism, because that initiates the knowing through the conditioning, reconditions you back to the knowing, and that's what we're here to do. So basically that's what happens. So it's not just about responding for the benefit of you. No, this is much bigger than that, because the you think you are is just the ego. You've got to know yourself as the whole ocean of what everything's doing, inclusive within and of everyone. Okay? So it is the inclusive. You're not exclusive to someone else. The way you talk to them is the talking to itself. Okay? So we've got to realise that. That's going to have opened a lot up for you people. So this is part 2 to the previous video. This will not be as extended because I'm really tired. I've been to the gym and I do full body sessions, so it's like it can be like a 2.5 hour session. So I'm really tired, but I just felt compelled to do this. And when it's an impulse, I can't ignore it. I cannot ignore that, because I can't avert away from the service to humanity and to us and to the self. It's not an egoic act. An egoic act would be avoiding this, because what more am I doing other than the isness of it? It's a service. It is a service. So the whole consciousness can realise itself again, as I keep reiterating, because I want it to be embedded in us, embedded, to know what we are again. See the crystal? This crystal. They are like beings within themselves. This crystal. Look at that, it's beautiful. Quartz crystal. I carry these around with me, and I have quite a few, because these crystals, okay, are heated up minerals, okay. So they've gone through things. They've gone through a serious torching, and it's like us, we go through suffering, but the suffering refines you, re-refines you, and this crystal is like condensed light, and it conceals the energy, okay, just like you. Once you've took a certain amount of pressure, okay, you take a certain amount of pressure and pushing, that pushing, it refines your being, because without an opposing force, just like the seed in the soil, without an opposing force, there would be nothing to push against to realise what you are, and for it to induce any sort of growth, any kind of growth within your being. How would you know that without the pushing and the torching and the heating up? Okay, so you become crystalline formation. You transcend the carbon-based relative energy to the carbon base, which is comfortability and being at ease. You can't be comfortable in deprivation and scarcity and lack, because they are low vibrations, and you will always reflect a finite reality as a mirror of what your reality will become. So you will never ever reach the capacity of your potential to realise what you are as God, expressed as this apertoire of what it is to be human. What is to be human is very expansive and explorative, and vastness of it all is the whole cosmos. So this crystal, these are great things to carry around. They conceal good energy. If you chant on these or two, it's like a fortress, a force field. It fortify you like your auric field does, but this just enhances that. Okay, it just helps the enhancement of your auric field. So I like to carry these around with me. I think there was some other points too from the previous video. The previous video, I think there's some other points, but I'm tired. I can't quite recall what I was going to say, but I think that's what I've said. I think is sufficient enough within itself, and I will just keep channeling and keep doing more videos for you guys to realise more of yourself. And that, remember that when you're out and about, you're walking the streets, okay, remember that everything's biolocative, okay, and there is no destination. It's just complete illusion. They call it peregrination. There's a word like, which means you walk a distance. The distance is the illusion. You're not walking anywhere. The emotions that are attributed to the place you're going are the emotions that you're holding within the now, that can be transmutated now to be there, which is the here. So it's all illusion. So remember this, guys. I'm just trying to break you out of the illusion. It's hard, I know, but nothing's personal, and it's all just energy based. If you feel uncomfortable, anxious, embarrassed, it doesn't matter. You're a zero. There's no you in it. It's the whole. The zero is the whole. It's all experiencing itself through itself. So it's for others to judge is a judgment upon them, and they will be judged, because it is the judged. There's nothing other than that. So remember that, guys. This one's a short one, an extension of the last one. Now I'm out. I am tired. I'm not going to say peace out, because that's becoming cliched, and I like to be authentic. Anyways, guys, I'm out. All love, remember that. Just love. Love.